Every individual has a purpose in life, and the gifts, talents, and abilities to accomplish that purpose. Many find this purpose in their work, in contributing to the community. Helping individuals with disabilities find their vocational purpose is the mission of the 3 affiliated tribes' Vocational Rehabilitation Services project. The primary goal of the 3 affiliated tribes' Vocational Rehabilitation or VR Services project is to deliver relevant, culturally sensitive services. The project is developing staff capacity through the hiring and training of personnel who live in the community and understand local culture. Reservation-based services are used and are being expanded in order to minimize the need for clients to travel. The 3 affiliated tribes VR project continues to grow and help more individuals with disabilities in the Fort Berthold area find their true potential.
Dosha Mabizagid. Hello and good day. My name is Mavis Youngbear. I'm the 3 affiliated tribes Vocational Rehabilitation Director. The main goals are the provision of culturally appropriate VR services, capacity building for the professionals that are employed with the VR program, and the development of a referral and network system that offers a wide array of and provision of services for tribal members.
The 3 affiliated tribes' rehabilitation process unfolds into 9 different steps: application, determination of eligibility, assessment, planning, providing services, employment, follow along, closure, and post-employment services. The rehabilitation process begins when you go to the VR office to apply. Once the application is official, the VR office has 60 days to determine your eligibility, unless you and the office agree to an extension. At application time, you are informed of your rights and responsibilities, and they include confidentiality of your personal information, how to appeal counselor decisions, availability of the Client Assistance Program, which acts as an advocate for the client. To be eligible for vocational rehabilitation services, you must be an enrolled member of an Alaska Native or American Indian tribe, live on or near the reservation, have a physical or mental disability that keeps you from finding employment or performing current job duties, and be reasonably expected to benefit in terms of employment from Voc Rehab services. It's important to point out that having a disability does not automatically qualify someone for services. The disability itself must keep you from being employed or continuing in the present job. There are many kinds of disabilities, from depression and chemical dependency to disabilities resulting from a serious accident. The disability must be supported by a diagnosis. This is why the VR project employs and works with individuals familiar in a wide range of disabilities. The assessment process begins with a meeting between you and your VR counselor. Your counselor will gather as much information about you as possible. They will ask about your work history, education, training, abilities, interests, special medical needs, and career goals. Bring this information to your first appointment with the VR counselor. Things like the names of doctors or therapists you've seen or may be seeing, medications you're taking, and your work history. Your counselor will ask you to sign release forms permitting your physician to provide documentation to the VR office. If existing information is not enough to clearly define your disability, you may be asked to undergo an evaluation by a physician, a psychologist, or another professional in the health and human services field. Your counselor will assist with these appointments.
It would be nice to have you call in to schedule an appointment with one of the VR counselors. And as soon as we schedule the appointment and you come in, we would ask you on the telephone that you bring in tribal enrollment, Social Security card, and a driver's license if you do have one. Well, at the first meeting, if you do not have the right documentation, we would have you sign a release of information to obtain the medical records, verifying your disability. And once we receive those, we have 60 days to determine if you're eligible. If you provide the VR office with the documentation, you could be determined eligible right there, because the counselors determine the eligibility. We just need to have documentation verifying that, that your disability.
Once your disability has been determined, a plan of action is developed for achieving your vocational goal. This action plan is called the Individualized Plan for Employment, or IPE. The IPE is jointly developed, agreed upon, and signed by the counselor and client, or his or her representative. The IPE contains vocational goals, timelines, services needed, and evaluation of progress. The IPE is designed to achieve the employment goal consistent with the abilities and capabilities of the client. And to the extent possible, the IPE will be provided in the language or mode of communication of the client. You, as the client, will be given a copy of the IPE and any amendments to it, and participate in a quarterly review of the IPE to revise or amend the plan if necessary.
Once we determine the client's eligibility, I call the client in, we sit down, and we go over an IPE, which is Individual Plan for Employment. And I try to find out the client's strengths and weaknesses, and then if they want to go to school, or if they want to get their GED, or if they just want to go to a vocational training. So once we get that decided, we put all this on paper, the IPE. The client signs it, I sign it, I give him a copy of it, and then I explain to him what services we can provide for him once he gets his IPE developed.